Are you ready? Are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Phenomenal.
You know how it happens. You're treating their sprains, or fixing the trains, or trying too hard to come first. You sure got a thirst. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. A long, cold Vic.
It's so hard to have a gay time on your own. It could be that great chalk and biscuit coating.
It's so hard to have a gay time on your own.
It could be that smooth toffee ice cream in the center. Or that whole delicious golden gay time taste.
Hard to have a gay time on your own.
Street.
Please give me Coke. Do you have Coke? And ask them the price of Coke. Cola, cola, cola. But it was not cola, it was Coke. Remember Coke? And what's Coke? Cola. It's not Coke in Korean. Cola. Good. So Coke. Do you have Coke? And they said yes. Please give me Coke. Oh, please give me Coke. I want a Coke.
What happened, Gandalf? Why didn't you meet us?
Oh, I am sorry, Frodo. I was delayed.
A sniper's dream, 100 megabytes of memory. He has his forehead, and after head goes praise vertical. No matter who he races, he gonna have a head start. Frontal globe, remembers what happened to Maul. His father stands on the second floor. Why can you still see his form? And with the comments open, shut his eyes. He got a lot on his mind. He's been told to hold that fort. All his life, rose sweat tries before it reaches his eyes. He needs bangs. Rain freeze will cause an avalanche. I wonder what time zone his forehead's in. Depends on which way he is facing. Rose starts every sentence with I know. His hairline went from landscape to portrait Lloyd. His skin will stay in the previous reel. Rose imaginations in 4K Ultra HD. If you do an H on his forehead, Corby would survive. His forehead says 6'5", but his eyes say 5'9". The most epic heroic song of all time. Rose's forehead has a national anthem. Bro knew this would happen. Shut it!
Bro knew this would happen. Always sounds like Keanu Reeves in Speed, that one. How are you all going? I hope you are well. It's over. Happy Halloween, by the way. I mean, it was Halloween yesterday for me. Worst Halloween ever. My eldest got food poisoning, although she did end up making it in the end. But I had to stay late working, and I missed out completely. I was going to go as Mike Bogandil. But alas, it wasn't to be. Maybe next year we'll bring it back. Hope you are all well. And it is also the end of Cocktober for another year. Another year gone. But at least I got to get through a huge pile of my to read pile, which had been stacking up for many, many years. Some of the books on that list, I don't even want to know. Actually, I do know. One of them I think I backed in 2018. But got through it. And tonight I'm going to reveal my personal top 5. It's not to say, I know there might be a little bit of consternation in the chat based on my picks, but it's the ones I enjoyed reading. Paul Sart says, already missed Cocktober. Well, at the end of the show, I'll reveal what I'm going to be doing going forward, because I ain't stopping. It's not going to be to this level, but it won't be another year without Bancroft reading comics. It won't be, I promise. Let us honor those in the chat who came in first. And it was Mo, even though he didn't take first, because he no longer does. He's retired from the first game. It was Paulus Arts, who I will now loft up above all of you for snagging the first. Poor Bretsky the Great, the king of the seconds. We got Credits Outlet in the house. JC, always think of Kill Bill. I think that song is from Kill Bill. That's where I got it from. I don't think it's from anything else. I think that's music from Kill Bill. I could be wrong on that, though. That's the dun, dun, dun. Michael Deitcher trying too hard to come first. Yeah, you don't want that. We got Corey Landis in the house. Hyper Wizard Jake says the best comic he's read this year will not be on the list. Would Carnal have made the list? Interesting. You know, I think it would have. I do think it would be in the top 5. Would it be the best? I would have to think on that. But I have just recently finished the pre-press for Carnal the Barbarian. If you backed it, I'm going to say if you backed it, because if you backed it, then you will know if that's sort of your style of book. It's not my kind of book, you know, this kind of raunchy sort of bent to a story, but I ended up loving it. I think he's got a great little world he's built there. The art is amazing. And I did help him just do the final polish. Alex says Carnal is legendary. I think it could be. If he can get a couple of those out a year, I think it could become something quite big, because not that I've read other comics like that, but I get the sense that most of them are just crap and they just have like boobs on the cover. But this isn't that book. And it is genuinely funny. So go check it out. We've got Jolly in the house. Hi, guys. Happy Halloween to all you Americans celebrating Halloween today. What's up, Sumo? What's up, Derek? And I'll say hello to, I think that's it, Alex VRB. There we go. Unfortunately, they used the same music in Blue Eye Samurai. Did they really? I didn't notice that. Mel, I made Mel do one because she's got that eagle eye. I made her do like a final look over, you know, for full stops and commas and apostrophes and that sort of stuff, because she will miss nothing. She says she thought it was interesting. Not really her bag, but she wasn't really reading it. She was studying it. What was I going to do? Oh, yes. I was going to thank Phil, even though I didn't win the Bling Bean. Outrageous. How many competitions do I have to rig over there to get something? So, yes, do thank Phil. It's been an interesting night. So, Jake raided into Phil, and I am going to raid into Rini, who has a Halloween auction going after the show. So, no, I didn't. No, she got the final version with all the lettering. She didn't see what was underneath. But Jake already censored quite a large amount of the more mound and valley type content and phallus type content that is thankfully blessedly covered by lettering in the end. Yeah, he did try to protect me. All right, so this is the name of the game today. Look at them all. What a selection. I can't believe I did this. You know what? When I first started recording King Cryptid, I stumbled and stuttered and I couldn't get my words out. And I was just sitting there thinking, oh my God, what have I done? How am I going to get through 31? But then I just buckled down and just thought, who cares? Just say whatever. And that's what I did. And if you've watched the videos, and thank you to everyone who has watched them. I appreciate you. You'll notice that's really what I did. There was no plan going in. I don't know what I'm going to say. I just flick through the books, and whatever it reminds me of is what I say. But I'm proud that I actually did this, because this is a really cool selection. I enjoyed almost all of them. There were a couple that I didn't really enjoy, and I was like, and most of that wasn't so much that I didn't think the art was cool or the story was cool. It was that I wasn't really understanding them as well as I could, and that's all in the videos. There was maybe one that I was just like, oh, this one's kind of a slog. But, you know, out of 31, we're only talking a small handful, maybe 3 or 4. The rest were enjoyable. And that's amazing, because these are all, they're not all made by amateurs. There are a few in here made by professionals. But when I say amateurs, just people who probably never worked in the mainstream. But I would put these up against any book that you would find, at least in today's mainstream, for sure. Like, there's some really good stuff. Are we going to rank them all now? No, I'm not going to rank them all. I'm not going to say this one gets the wooden spoon. If you watch the videos, you can kind of hear the ones that I'm less enthusiastic about. And I was 100% honest in my criticism, in my review, whatever. I didn't do like a proper review, not like a Mike Partika review where I go in and point out all the little things. I think you guys can guess. Dale, who do you think gets the wooden spoon? I'm not going to confirm the bottom 5 stream. Yeah, no. Come on, Bancroft. Best or worst? What problems could that cause? I know, right? Yeah, no, I won't be doing that. But choosing a top 5 is really hard. Again, it's not going to be like, you know, the biggest comic or even the best art or anything like that, or whatever. It's going to be the ones that I enjoyed most reading at the time and I got the most out of. So it's going to be sort of personal in that sense. But I do have some honorable mentions as well that I want to bring out. So yeah, no pencil of scorn. So without any further ado, let's just freaking get down to it. Where is it here? So let's go here, and I will bring down my contraption here. I'll move my microphone over here. Hopefully this will all work. And then let us change cameras. Where are we? Hey, it worked. All right, might need to just move that a little bit. There we go. Stable. I suppose I don't need the mouse anymore. The trackpad. Ooh, look at that. Got my felt here. Who suggested this? Was this Alex or was this Cranberry? I can't quite remember. Bancroft and his devices. I know, right? Okay. So, first honorable mention goes to King Cryptid. And I think the only reason this is not in the top 5 is because I only read one, which is kind of unfair. Because it's only like a little 22-pager. I did have others, but I just didn't get to reading them. Some others I read like 100+ pages. So it's not really fair. So this could have made top 5 if I read more, but you only get a very brief glimpse at King Cryptid and the world that Pete built here. But Christian Rossi art, I think Christian was on the colors too. So, you know, what's not to like? That newsprint. Look at how gorgeous it looks under the camera. No glare. That paper. Smells great. Shout out. I'm actually really looking. I keep hitting the thing with my hat. Let me take my hat off. The forehead has been released. I keep hitting the camera with my hat. The Hugh Jungus ad. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Look at that. It's right there. What's up, Phil? Thank you for the raid, as always. King Cryptid is in my top 5 fantastic self-contained stories that have continuity in the tradition of Bronze Age Marvel. I suspect it would have made my top 5 as well if I was taking in more of a selection. Sure, blame the hat. It wasn't the forehead. What's up, Buzz? So shout out to Pete, publishing Pete Samedi. These are in no particular order, by the way. The honorable mentions. I hate how when I do the videos, I do like I adjust the contrast so you don't see all these little flecks of God knows what on this felt. I probably should take it out of the sheet here so it's not under the glare. Next is Inglorious Rex. Heavy is the crown. The only reason this didn't make the top 5 is a lot of the reasons that other people have said in the chat. The art is absolutely superb, particularly the combination of, I mean, it's everyone's job, obviously, but, Shane did amazing work on the backgrounds and all the characters and everything. But Jason Wright's colors on some of these pages is just out of this world. But the problem, I think a lot of people mentioned this in the comments too, was that the characters themselves are not super likable. I think what he's going for is going to try and like do a redemption arc with Alex. He's kind of like a bit of a loner, gruff, grumpy dude. I like Anatomic. I don't like Little T, but I guess he's the villain, so that's what he's supposed to do, But I do like enjoying a villain, whereas I don't really like Little T. But I can't fault the art in this is just like Paula says, it's top notch. I mean, it really is. For this sort of like this, I guess you would classify this as the Marvel DC house style, like American comic book style. This is peak, So yeah. I do hope that the next one is, I do think it's gonna, I'm not gonna spoil it, but the next one is gonna be more about, outside fighting the monsters in the green zone. Yeah, Citizen Ronan says it well. I like the art, didn't care for the story. The story is written fine. It's just I don't really connect with the characters as much as I'd want to make it an enjoyable read. Not sure if Lil T is a villain, more of an anti-hero. Yeah, I get that sense too. He's kind of an antagonist. Let's just say that. He's not really a villain. He's doing his thing, but yeah. All right. I didn't even take these out of the. I'm an idiot. All right. Next one. I've got 2 others in the nominate. What do they call it? I can't even remember it now. The whatever. Almost got there category. Groken. And this could be a surprise to some. I was thinking this was gonna make my top 5. I mean, it's Kenneth friggin' Rocafort. Hashtag the Rocaforce. The thing that didn't put it in the top 5 for me, though, was the disconnected elements of this story to the first 2 books. Groken is connected, but everyone else sort of wasn't. There were tons of characters in the first 2 books that didn't end up in this one, and then there was a new bad guy in this one. Where is he that they fight? That psycho who's just going around killing everyone. This guy. World-class writer. Yeah, what is it? They're not the runners-up. No, honorable mentions. Thank you. I just, my brain freezes when I stream. It's terrible. It's like a brain fart. Yeah, so I really feel like, because I think it's all in Kenneth's head. I feel like there is a amazing world that's all interconnected in Groken, but it just hasn't gotten there yet. I hope it gets there soon because I think it's going to be pretty epic. Obviously, the art is just, I mean, you don't even have to, you don't have to say anything and just let it speak for itself. Kenneth is, what does Aldous call him? The generational talent. No one else is making anything even remotely like this. And it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Dal says, yeah, it really needs to concentrate on the exciting story instead of just introducing new elements every issue. I agree. In the first issue, there were about 4 different antagonistic groups trying to get to Groken. That's boiled down to really 1. And I want to know what happened to the others. There's that knight. There's that dark guy with his skinny chick all in black. Where are they? They need to be here. So yeah. And for a brain that big, it's a deep freeze, Bancroft. A brain freeze, brain fart. I don't know, whatever it is. So yeah. Honorable mention, Groken. And my last honorable mention is hold on. Whoops. Battlebig Road 2 by Zeb Hatfield and Eric Weathers. This one was very close because I do really like this world. The growth in art on Eric on this is just, I think it's Farah on the colors too. Farah Nurmalisa, I think. Is that written somewhere? It probably should be. I'm sure it is. No? Anyway. It's incredible. Like, this is full on professional, not only professional level art, it's really good. You know, so it's like he's gone from amateur to, I mean, like when you think back on his first book, what was that? Flying Fortress is pure amateur to really good in the first one, almost professional to not only professional, but like really good professional. It's crazy. I do feel like this book, though, was a bit of a setup book. You know, it's that part of the story where she's meeting all the different characters. So not saying it's bad or anything. It's just, it's the lead up to when it's all going to go down, I think, in either the next book or the next two books. I don't know how many books there are in this one. Battlebig Road 2 has great art. Better than the first one, but had some noticeable tone shift from the first issue. You know what I think it is? I think it's just going to be the whole story is going to be one great thing. Whereas each individual installment, it's I'm not even making sense here. It's kind of its own thing. But the whole gang's here now, so we're ready to rock and roll. Great series, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what he was able to, the improvements he was able to make. So that gets honorable mention. All right, we are here. I think it's going to be 4 parts. 4 parts, yeah. If it was only 3, I would feel like that would be rushed. And I like how you spelled parts in how I pronounce it. I appreciate that. All right. I should do a drum roll. Where's my drum roll? Hang on. Let me take a sip because I'm getting a dry mouth here. You know, I just had COVID. COVID used to be a big thing. Now it's not. Now it's just like, yeah, I had a bit of COVID. It's fine. All right. Top 5. Number 5 is Band of the Crow by Arvid Nelson and Oren. I mean, it had to be, didn't it? It is. This was an absolute delight from every sense. You know, and I forgot as well when I did the video. This was like, I don't know, $12 or something. It was crazy. Like, look at these gorgeous pages setting up the world. This is like that moment in Lord of the Rings, you know, where you hear Galadriel talking, and the art is just, I mean, Oren is, I don't know how Arvid found him, but hold on to him as tight as you can. And Arvid is a professional writer, so there's, there was never, I had never any kind of worry there. But gorgeous. Dal says, gorgeous book, but most fantasy is not to my taste. Yeah, I'm a fantasy guy. Maybe the only part of the book I didn't really love as much was this dude, but I think that's kind of done on purpose. He's not supposed to be sympathetic. He's kind of a jackass. But yeah, the one, I guess it's not a downside, is it is a continuing story. So I'm not going to like spoiler or anything, but it does continue on. But in this one, at least you get 2 chapters. You get to see what happens when our young hero goes into the maze and what he sees in there. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy good art. Thank you, Alex. He's got the URL there. So yeah, that was the top 5. What else can I really say about this? Just like I said, I think I said in the video that it was like if you just bought this off a shelf and got it for your nephew or something, you would never know that this was a book that was funded through crowdfunding and released direct to the public that way. Like it just looks, it's got the barcode and everything. It just looks like something you would pick up in a shop. Really, really beautiful stuff. Yeah. All right, that's that one. That is number 5. The next one was a surprise to me. The size helps too. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's huge. It's not like a normal comic book size. It really does make for a enjoyable experience. It really does change the sort of the reading, what you feel about it. All right. Number 4. Long Harbor. I had this sitting on my shelf for so long and I never read it. I don't know why. It was just sitting there and I was like, man, it looks cool. I just didn't get to it. And so I really didn't know. And I'd sort of forgotten mostly what it was supposed to be about. And on top of that, I'm not really into horror stories. But I guess I kind of am now. I know what I'm not into now and what I am into. I'm not into the slashers as much, but I do like the spooky supernatural stuff. And that's what this is. And unfortunately, the guy, that was like the only problem with it, the guy. So it's written by, I didn't say this in the video, Nasha Toby, who I remember from back in the day, and Alejandro Mirabel. I heard that he's gone off to video games to make money. And I'm not surprised. I mean, his art is just absolutely stunning. Like Hellboy, exactly. Yeah. Like Hellboy. From the get-go, what a page to open up on. Very just spooky and weird. And it's in this, it's almost like a stylized Studio Ghibli style. Are those hands real? They are my hand. What do you want me to, what symbol? Do you want me to do the OK symbol? Yes. They are my real hairy hands. I mean, look at this. Just beautiful. It's a very moody story. It really pulls you. Like, so my experience reading this was he just pulls you in and I'm there. It's like I'm watching a cool HBO TV show, where I can smell the gross dead fish, but everything's freaky and weird. The shark has hands. And so I wasn't even really thinking, oh, this is like not my kind of genre or anything. I was just drawn into a really cool story. It was well written. I liked that there wasn't too much dialogue. So like the pages flicked through at a good pace. There was a lot of mystery. The crew each had their own personalities. I just thought it was just a real, look at that. Beautiful page. I just felt like it was a really fun, enjoyable read, despite the grossness at times of the certain horror elements. And it was also like, it was sad because it involves this guy and his daughter. We find out at the start, it's not a spoiler. He was the only survivor, survivor. And that's the other unfortunate side of it. At the end of this book, he goes back. He's planning to go back to look for his, missing daughter. But I don't know if there are any plans for Alejandro that's him going back, has to pick up the series again, which is a real shame because, I just like look at the way they're composed. It's very cinematic. It's very beautiful. I really had a good time reading this one. He does this sort of fisheye thing too on some of the panels, which is just, you don't see very often in comics. People doing, I remember, I don't know if I can zoom in on this. I can. It'll adjust. Look at that. Go iPhone. The underground effect, the underwater effect he captured in this scene in particular was just Look at that. No words. Just great visual storytelling. So that's number 4, Long Harbor. You can get this book from Iconic Comics right now, I believe. And go hassle Alejandro to get back into comics. I'm sure he'll listen to you. It is really good, 10-8. What's up, Value Law? Great to see you. It is really good. I was like, what the hell was I? Why didn't I read this earlier? I don't know when I got this. It's like 3 years ago. I'm an idiot. All right. Number 3. The Passenger of U-977. Another surprise and another horror. What is going on? This is why I said every video I was like, oh, I'm not really into horror. And then I enjoyed all these horrors. But again, just a cracking yarn. Just a really good story. I'm going to put this up here for scale. So that's Band of the Crow. And that's a regular size comic. So I think it is sort of like regular width, but just slightly shorter, which makes it feels different. I liked it, though. It didn't take anything away. The only thing, Bancroft's forehead is a horror magnet. Yeah, I know why you're not reading these. You don't want to be disappointed. Maybe that is a thing. So I just saw this on Kickstarter, and I thought that looks amazing. And then I saw some of the initial pages. I was like, you know what? I never buy stuff just off random Kickstarters that I don't know who they are. But I thought if someone is that good at art, surely they would know how to tell a story. And completely, it doesn't matter how many times that I've proven myself wrong with that thinking. But what I didn't know is these are published by Afterlight Comics, which you can go to their website, and there is a whole bunch of really good looking, it's all horror themed books on that site. I didn't even know. So there you go. Afterlight Comics. They're apparently a pretty good, big publisher of horror indie comics. A good horror tale. Exactly. Afterlight is amazing, says K-pop. Yeah, now I know about them. See what happens when you actually read books? Anyway, Carlos Baricelli is the brainchild of this. He hired this guy. It's all written here to help him write it. But he did the story and the art. You said in the story, the only criticism I have of this book is these bloody gutters. Like, I think if they just printed it in normal size comic, they could have had a bit of guttering on the edges. I actually quite like the look of the full bleed on the outside, but on the inside, you've got to do something about this because it's quite a little thick boy too. There's some of them where you're like getting in there, which is always a little bit annoying, but you live with it. You live and learn with it. Like I said, it's just a cracking good story. It's set in the aftermath of World War II, so the direct aftermath. The Germans have just surrendered. The Allies are demanding that all the U-boats surface so they can be basically accounted for and come under Allied command. But the captain is like, no, we're not gonna surface because we're not gonna get a fair trial by these allies, and so instead we're gonna sail to Argentina and just wait it out there. And you think, I guess it kind of makes sense. Jake says, I like that graphic design. Yeah. The only thing that was a little bit weird was the lettering. I love that there's no outline on the lettering. That was good. It was just the font. It was just an unusual choice. Maybe it was just too big and bold. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, the whole design of the whole thing is beautiful. But you find out that actually, no, that wasn't the reason. The reason is he's got this guy on board. This creepy looking mofo. Where is he? This is not easy to manage. This guy. That guy. And he's like an occult Nazi dude. And he's doing freaky stuff in his little guest chambers. Let me get to it. Where is it? Where is he? Can I find him? He's in here somewhere. Here he is. Yes, he's got like a, he's doing like demonic things in his thing, and he's got this chick essentially in the submarine who's like a demon, and she needs to feed. So I guess she's a little like a vampire kind of thing. Anyway, obviously the crew is not very happy about that because they randomly start going missing, and the captain doesn't seem to be doing anything about it. Look, there he is. But the captain knows that if they all want to kill this guy, obviously, but the captain is like, if they try to kill him, he's just going to send this lovely lady loose on the ship, and then they'll all die. But what do you do? You just wait around for this thing to like slowly pick them off? No, they stage a mutiny, and all hell breaks loose. There is one scene that I thought was kind of funny where she is in more human form, and she goes in to, I guess, thank the captain for letting her live with a little bit of intimate time. And he's like, yeah, look, when you've been at sea so long, you'll take anything. How could I not surrender? Who could have? But yeah, no, really good story. Self-contained with it does have a little bit of that horror thing where it's like, but it could happen again sort of thing. But it is a self-contained story. Really happy with this one. Massive shout out to the team, Afterlight Comics. I really love it when I take a chance on a crowdfund and it pays off. So yeah, very happy with that. Can you still buy it? Yes, you can get it at Afterlight Comics. Whatever that is, afterlightcomics.com. He got those glasses that the ghoulish guy from Indiana Jones on. It has that feel. Yeah, it definitely has that feel. There's beautiful art, man. And he uses the colors to help tell the story too. The reds and the yellows and the grays, and good stuff. I love the art. I do too. Alrighty. All right. Any port in a storm, says Charo. Okay. Number 2. This one was a massive surprise. Again. Another one. Hold on. What is it going to be? Number 2. Hammerella by Ryan Wynn. This is another one. When did I friggin' get this? I like it, like he said. You rock, Michael. That was nice. So I appreciated that. When was this published? Does it say a date? It must say a date somewhere, surely. No? I have to go look. I feel like it was years. I had Ryan on my show years ago, and I really dug this sort of Kirby kind of inspired, simple comic style that he was going with, very cartoony. And I said, yeah, come on, Chet, tell me what Hammerella's all about. And he gave me the hard sell, and I thought it looked great. So I backed it, and I received it, and then I never read it. Of course. I really love this one. Dal says, I really didn't care for this one either, and I enjoyed Gods and Gears. No, man, I really, really enjoyed this. I was not expecting to. I like the art. Actually, I really like the art. I like the, what did you call this? Is this Bronze Age? Silver Age? I don't know. Bronze Age. It's more Bronze Age style take. It's essentially the story of this girl here who's like a demigod who's being raised by a crazy spider on a secret world, and the spider keeps attacking her, getting these monsters to attack her throughout her childhood. So she's fighting off this fire thing, she's fighting off the wolf thing, she's fighting off a giant bear. There's the bear. So she's just becoming more and more proficient as a warrior. Eventually she gets to the point where she gets to have her own hammer. She gives it a secret magic word, which is Hammerella, and then she sort of just kind of becomes pretty much unstoppable at that point. And meanwhile, at that time, at that moment, she's visited by these guys who are the Blue Astra, who sort of fly in on some mission. They're just kind of jumping through hyperspace, and they wind up temporarily on her planet just by coincidence, I feel. Anyway, she's never seen anyone else her whole life, so she chases after them and gets drawn into this battle that they're in against these things, who are these giant robotic. They're kind of like the Borg, I guess. Or if you watched the Orville, there was a race of robots that just want to destroy everything living. And she gets drawn into their fight. And you know what I really like about it is towards the end, it all ties up because she ends up fighting with these guys and using the specific strengths and powers that she learned all the way back when she was fighting these things. So it really is not only a self-contained story, but a story that kind of loops over itself, and it's just really well considered. I found her a really interesting and unique, enjoyable character. I liked all the other characters. I love the bright art, and it was just like, wow, this is great for, give this to a 12-year-old, give this to an 11-year-old, and I think they would have a blast. This sort of stuff they need to make more of. Get more kids into comics, but even as an adult, you can just have a good time reading it. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't even know at the time it was part of the Gods and Gears world. So I'm gonna read the Gods and Gears stuff now, because maybe that's all more about this stuff, which was super cool. Look at that great coloring. Looks like a fun book. Yeah, it is. It would print really well on. I think it was maybe originally, going to be printed on newsprint. It would work amazing on newsprint. But 2023 is when Ryan sent out the back. It only took me 2 years. I like that Bancroft is recapping his read-throughs. He's really milking these cocks for all they're worth. Well, I know, not everyone watched the videos. So, I'm just giving my justification why I think Hammerella, cracking read, and deserves to be my top 2 most enjoyable book I read this month. All right. Number 1. Number 1 is a cheat. I'm sorry. It has to be. But it is different. It has to be a cheat. And I'll tell you why when I present it. So let's do a drum roll. The number 1 book. Shadow Kingdom. And the cheat is, it's not really a creator-owned comic, so it's sort of going to be both. I read The Atlantean a couple of months ago, and I loved it. And I went and bought The Shadow Kingdom. Actually, it's longer than a couple of months ago. So when I put The Shadow Kingdom in this, I didn't realize it was a straight retelling of... you can see it here. They've got the actual text. Like, the text is word for word the Robert E. Howard story, The Shadow Kingdom. But it is an adaptation, so, they did have to decide how they were going to present it as in a graphic novel format. Is it creator owned? Not really. They don't own these characters. These are public domain characters, and it's not their story. But if you ask me which of these books did I enjoy most reading out of all of them, it was this one. This is the book this month I enjoyed reading most. But again, not really fair. It's a Robert E. Howard story. That makes sense. I really do. I thought this was a brilliant, fun story. And it's not that I'm big into sword and sorcery. I like fantasy, but I'm becoming a sword and sorcery fan, that this sort of story, because of what I'm reading here with these guys. Having said that, yeah, does it count? I love the the colors that Russ put on the art in this, but I will instead give it to this one, which is amazing because I just read it last night, The Atlantean. But I had, it's like, oh, I love it because I love all of it, but it is sort of part of one big story. So this is a creator-owned story. The characters, is up in arms. I do think Cull, the name, is copyrighted, but I thought this was brilliant. I really, really love what they're doing with this series. I like that they're going in their own direction. They're not doing what's popular. They're not doing what's flashy. They're just going their own way. Look at the way that they've kept the inks intact. They haven't altered the levels or anything like that. So you really get it. It looks like you're looking at the original art as you read. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe other people have done it. I just haven't seen it. But Cull and Brule, I'm really into their adventure that they're on, and I really wanted to know more. And I think it's just great fun. It makes me feel nostalgic for a bygone time that I was never a part of. So it's a creative retelling of a book, A Crab to Speak. Well, this one is a new story. So this one is, oh, excellent. John bought the U97. Yeah, you will really love it, I think. Rini says she's going to go later. Well, I'm probably going to go for another 15 minutes or so. So I can't really stretch things out any longer. Dal says, I found Shadow Kingdom a little dry. I preferred the subsequent stories, The Atlantean. I can see that it definitely is of its day. But I think just overall, I just really enjoyed this book. It is self-contained too. So there's that. But I'm happy to give this one the #1 spot because it is technically the creator-owned. It's a Randy Zimmerman original inspired by these characters. They're on a journey to basically rout the the serpent demon people from the kingdom of Volusia. Probably mispronouncing that. They've got this bar wench along for the ride with them. And this story is really interesting because it's broken into 3 parts. You've got the present day, and then you've got 2 flashbacks, which sort of are self-contained stories of themselves. One's about Brule and one is about Krull. So it's kind of like you get world building, you get character building, you get action, you get adventure, you get high stakes. People are getting, swords put through them. It's all based around this jewel here that will reveal when it's kind of like the sword in Lord of the Rings that reveals when orcs are near and glows. This thing glows as well. I guess when was Lord of the Rings written? I don't know exactly when that was written. Did this come first or second? I don't quite know. This item, because that is from the Shadow Kingdom. Once again, thanks for highlighting my ignorance, Bank. He never misses those comments. Russ's art has never looked better. I mean, I am in awe of this guy, and he's pumping these things out. I didn't even realize that the 3rd one had already crowdfunded, and I missed it. So I'm going to go. I mean, it's fine. They'll get it out. You can buy it from Amazon. You can get it from Critical Blast. That's where I got these ones. His art, like, I didn't show this in the video. Look at this. Look at this page. So that's young Cull out in the wilderness. Look at that beautiful background. The way with just black and white and a bit of gray, it separates all the, the background, middle ground, foreground, leads the eye. It's kind of like a masterclass. Randy's writing is superb, tells the story all in the same, I wouldn't say voice, but the same style as the Robert E. Howard original. So it very much just flows right into it. He keeps the same voice going that they had in the others. And surprise, surprise, he chases after this woman, and she's every woman in this friggin' story is a bloody snake demon. Are there no true wenches, no comely lasses of virtue true left in this world? This poor one gets a bloody spear through the chest. But yeah, just really good, fun comic book stuff. And I expect that I checked all their campaigns are actually growing as they get this, like as they pick up readers and they put these out consistently. I expect these to be just like go better and better and better. So it is I did notice that. It's amazing how her hair always lands on the boobs. She was very talented like that. No matter, I mean, they're kind of ones where it's a little like far away, so you know, it's fine. But yeah, I think these are great, and I have a lot of fun reading them. Again, big too, so you get that jumbo experience. You can hear the glee in Bancroft's voice as he describes the cock growing. Reminiscent of Savage Sword of Conan. Yeah, I never read that, but that's what a lot of people have said. And if that's what it's like, yeah, I'm becoming a big fan. Like I said, I never really got into this sort of stuff previously, but also as well, you could hand this to a 12-year-old boy. I think he would love it, and we need more of that stuff. So massive shout out to Russ and Randy for what they're doing over there. I think the campaign is closed, but once the books come out, you can get them very quickly through either Amazon or Critical Logistics, Critical Blast. So they sell them there as well. So you will be able to get this. Yeah. The Jumbo Experience. Exactly. All right. Let me put my hat back on so I don't frighten you all. I know it's Halloween. But we don't need that sort of frightful sight, I don't think. There we go. Beep. Look at that. Look at my fancy gadget. Beep. That I borrowed from work. I let them know. They never got back to me about that. So I don't know, maybe when I do the I'm about to start the what are they called? The friggin' sketch covers for Fractured Mind. Maybe I'll do some of them live. And we can all enjoy that experience. Duke's got to get out of here. Thank you very much, Duke. I look forward to seeing what you've got coming next. Man, but looking at these, there were so many others I quite enjoyed, but I didn't put like Katari Witch Hunter. That was a fun one. Ed Gein, it's a bit like the King Cryptid. Actually, same with Infinital Chronicles. A bit like King Cryptid. The only issue is I only read the first one, so I feel like I only got a little bit into the story. War Party was like a prequel. But a Perfect 10 as well. That's another one. See, there's a lot of here that are, could have made in there. But I just got to read more of them. I do have the rest of the Perfect 10, so I will read them. So what I want to do, Kataru could have definitely gotten up there. I actually probably would have shown it as a not honorable mention, but I don't have the physical copy, so I just forgot. But I tell you, Katara was good. Katara was fun. I like that world he's building. I like the character. It's kind of like he's got that manga swagger to him that I enjoyed a lot. Fatal 2, we're holding out. I've got to actually get in touch with Charlie because he said he's been dabbling with some pages. He would have featured Katara, but he didn't want none of this smoke. Yeah, so look, there was some pretty much most of them were enjoyable. But what I want to do going forward now is probably do one a week. One every day was a lot. Maybe one a week, do a short, do a video, and do a deep dive on one of the streams somewhere. So, and I think for the videos, not so much like what I was doing with the others, where I was just sort of reading through the book, but more of like pull something out of the book that I think would make an interesting video. Like, is it a scene or a character or just something that that book did really well and just highlight that. So yeah, do the SABC thing on all these. I don't want to. There were some books I just didn't like, and to know what they are, you're gonna have to watch the videos. Some of them I just did not enjoy, and I don't want to. I don't want to put people in the C thing. Once, 3 times a week. Once, oh yeah, once, twice, 3 times a cock. I get it. I got there eventually. More cock. There will definitely be more. I really appreciated your comment, Dale. That kind of made my day, because it's not the most popular stuff on YouTube. Is talking about stories and character and all that sort of stuff. Everyone much prefers gossip and creators and that sort of stuff. But no, I really enjoy doing it. I'm speaking with Adam Lawson about it because he does a similar thing, and he said it really is. You really do need to do it. If you want to write comics, you need to read comics. And I 100% agree with that. And I've been slacking for far too long. I tried to get it here and there, and then I get a bit distracted and everything. That is a lot of cock. There, see, I'm looking forward to reading the Infinital Chronicles Part 2. I hear the art gets a lot better too. I'm looking forward to that. Because I think there's a really cool story in there. And I can't wait to read more. Matty Fowler in the house? A different cock every day could be exactly, Matt. It is. It's true. It's just too much. You never know what you're going to get either. Oh my God! Once a week, Bancroft needs time to rest, and I'm not going to say that, especially from these jumbo experiences. I appreciate all sizes, as you see. There was a little one in there. There was a big one. There was a jumbo. There was a standard. Hold on. You guys are pushing me. You're pushing it. I do have to get some Graham. Yeah, Graham called me out. He's like, why no, a compass in there? I was like, I didn't have any. There was a time though where I didn't have any Graham. I didn't have any Billy. I didn't have any Aaron, just because the shipping was just prohibitive. But now I get everything done through Creative Blast. It might be time to go back, and I think probably the Two-Fisted Manly Tales is the one that interests me most of Graham's. But Alien Alamo looks good too. I've got to check a lot of things out. You know how it is. It's just time. Various sizes keeps it fresh. Exactly. Aaron Lopresti. I am really eagerly awaiting the new Wraith of God. Wraith of God was one of my favorite books that I've ever received in all of crowdfunding. There's so many things I could do, but yeah, like I said on the videos, I want to make videos that just sort of anyone could watch, not only people who are diehard indie comic fans. It's going to be difficult, but I think I can figure out a way to do it. Just gotta put some thought into it, put some effort into it. Already, I did a short on just a random Kickstarter that I saw that was pretty good. That got like 2,000 views. I hope it helped him get some more funding. I don't know if it did, but I'll do some more of that stuff. Do a Bancroft Vember. I don't know if that really has a good ring to it, but maybe. Bancroft can't justify paying international shipping, says Mo, but he can just come across the local bums, so to speak. Unbelievable. Sketch it up. That was another good one, actually. The Ace. I had a lot of fun reading the Ace. And again, another story that you could just hand to a 12-year-old, and I think they would love it. And I don't know why I think I'd read the first one a while ago, but I hadn't caught up. I just received the third one, so probably that's why. But that was fun. I mean, the progression of art, even though it's the same artist, Ibai Canales, man, he's becoming a crusher. Really good stuff. Yeah, and we've already got Movember. So Kit Carter, that was another cracker. I would call that a banger. Kit Carter is beautiful and a great story and a really fun read. Aaron is crushing it. Aaron is the man. Like, he is the man, I think. Aaron and Russ Leach, I think they're the guys. Well, and Randy and Russ, because it's like a team thing. Ace gets better every book. You know what I liked about the Ace? It was very simple and straightforward. It reminded me of reading comics when I was a kid. It wasn't like super convoluted and complicated and there's a million moving parts. It was just, this is happening and we're going for it. And it was fun. Fun characters. Interesting characters, you know? These members December. Comics be good. Comics do be good. When they're good, I really enjoy it. Jojo says, I've had a lot of podcasters say they want comics kids can read, but got very little support for a YA book. Yeah, that's the thing. I tried to give Clark Hammerella to read. He got a couple pages in, and then getting the actual kids to read has been a struggle. Like, my kids read very well for school, and they read and everything, but personal reading was always a bit like pulling teeth. And it wasn't really until this year that Victoria, who used to say, I don't want to read, now she's a voracious reader, but she's 13. So I'm not gonna push comics onto Clark, because I think if you parents push things, then that's lame. But they're here, they're available for him to read. I've got them. I think I started reading comics at around 11 or 12. I started reading novels at around 10. So he's got a few years to go. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. All right, I think that's going to be it for me. Like I said, Rini will be streaming, but it looks like she's pushed it back for another, I think it's like 25 minutes or so. But we can still send her over there. The Halloween art auction. Got some juicy pieces over there. Dean's in the house. Okay, so you all know the Embrace is the best one, but what number? Right, is Tooth. Yeah, well, I didn't read that this month. I do like the Embrace though. Okay. All right. I think the raid is actually set up. So we're good to go. I hope you had a good Halloween, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Speaking of me, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to load up 6 pages and color them all at the same time. That's my new thing. I think I've discovered something new here. I'm getting through pages at a rate I never have before. It's weird. Who won? The Shadow Kingdom won, but it's not really creator owned. So I gave it to the Atlantean, which is the true cock winner of 2025. There you go. All right, everybody. Have a great night. I will see you all next week. All right, bye.
Perth made an Australian video, and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.